So the New Balance MT10 Angora with linen, and this is something that I was looking to review for quite some time. Just interested in low profile sneakers, just in general, just kind of more sort of veering towards that. And these were reintroduced in 2025 and originally released around sort of 2010 era. I was trying to find, the particular year that they were released, but there seems to be a bunch of different Minimus type trail sneakers that have released over the years, and it's difficult to pinpoint the exact time when this particular model released. But I know it's been kind of, I suppose, re-retroed a few times over the years anyway, and seems to be quite popular with the New Balance trail sneaker fans. And like I said, it is a trail sneaker at the end of the day, so it's got like that kind of minimum feel on foot, and mainly for running, but the outsole obviously being more rugged, I guess, and it's meant to be that way for trail running. So with the details, it comes in an Angora with linen colorway, so you can sort of see that on here. It's mainly sort of the beige type color, which is typical New Balance, and the linen, I'm guessing, is maybe the material. It feels sort of very sort of textile, so in that respect, that's kind of what the material is, I suppose. I don't think it's linen is the colorway. And this has I suppose, not much of a midsole really, and inside you can sort of see it's got like a unique design that you normally don't see, and it's got an insole that was almost sort of stitched together with like heel support, so the extra fabric around here gives it more rigidity on the back, but also you get these little foam pods that you'd see something on like an SB Dunk. However, it kind of stops it from collapsing on itself, which I suppose with something like this being a minimum type sneaker kind of helps with. You don't want it to sort of cave in too much, especially when you're trying to put them on. And it also has what they're calling a Vibram outsole, so this is another one of those technologies that is, I think, exclusive to Vibram. I think Vibram isn't a New Balance technology, I think it's just a technology that they borrow, and you can sort of see the outsole has these pods on here, and they feel pretty grippy and quite sort of comfortable as well. So I'm not sure how much they would wear over time, but I think Vibram's supposed to be a bit more durable than normal. But it seems to work well, and it feels nice on the foot, and again, quite sort of neutral. And like I said earlier, it's made up of sort of suede and textile materials. The suede's kind of going around here and then around the back of the heel area. And the price for these were £95. So with the comfort and sizing, these are on the medium to firm side. And like I said, if you like low profile type sneakers, I like having low profile for everyday sort of lifestyle wear. Just generally find sneakers with like a lot of foam. The older I get, the kind of the worst time I have with them, and just get a sort of lot of fatigue. But something like more of a barefoot feel just seems to be working for me at the moment. And obviously, like I said, they're called the Minimus for a reason, and they have a lot of ground feel on them, so just be wary of that. There isn't much of a midsole really, and you do sit really low to the ground, so you'll feel every single bumps and grinds on the path. And also being low to the ground, you can sort of see it's got neutral arch and heel support, so this doesn't give you any of that really, and nor should it, and it's not advertised as that. And I guess with this, you can mainly, I'd say, go up half a size with these. They fit quite small in my opinion. I went up a full size, and New Balances just tend to be a bit strange really. So the full size is, if you're looking at like a Nike trainer, then it's like 8.5, and that's what this is. It's like 8.5 for US sizing, but in the UK that would be an 8, equivalent to an 8. Whilst with a Nike size it would be 7.5. So I've had to pretty much go up a full size to get a good fit, and even then my toe still comes to about there with socks on. And again, no wearing time with these. They're good to go out of the box. They feel very comfortable on foot in my opinion. They have like this gusseted sort of stitched on tongue, so it doesn't give you too much flexibility, but from what I can see is it's stitched on, so you could potentially just cut it off if you wanted to and kind of use it as a loose tongue if you wanted to, I guess, but obviously be careful how far you cut down. But I'm kind of happy with that, and I think the more you wear them, the more they'll loosen up, and you can kind of see on here already like the textile is quite sort of stretchy. And the traction, again, like I mentioned earlier, I think it's really good. It works well. No complaints from me, and I actually think it feels quite nice on foot because it gives you that sort of massagey feel as well, because these protrude inwards, so I kind of like that feeling. So with the look and style, I mean, it's got that trail runner look, but I like the colorway on this. Initially I was looking at the black pair, but I managed to pick these ones up on sale for a lot cheaper, so that's why I ended up with this pair. But in hindsight, I prefer this colorway. Just looks a bit more elegant, especially for everyday use and sort of wearing them to work, that kind of stuff. And I, again, just like the light colors on this as well. There isn't too many like of these Minimus type sneakers that have been released from New Balance, this particular one. But I know there's a black version, and I think there's kind of more of a blue version coming out soon as well. And again, these are good for sort of spring, summertime. They have really good breathability. Obviously, like I said, because they're made for sort of trail running, they need nice breathability. I wouldn't say they're the most protective of sneakers, being the material that they are, but as a lifestyle sneaker, I think they work great. And it's pretty much a casual type sneaker in my opinion. No, it's not really going on the smart side, but the colorway kind of lends itself to being more smart. And you can go with the sail laces that's in here at the moment, but there's also, potential to put in some grey laces. So with the final thoughts, I do like the trail runner aesthetics. I was looking at them and I felt like, I might not like them, but when I've got them on foot, I think they look pretty cool and look quite nice, So for me, I think I kind of like the way they look. And just they're really lightweight, I just like that kind of lightweight feeling at the moment. And it might be just going through a phase, but at the moment, it seems to be the way to go for me. And again, the Vibram outsole, so being sort of more rugged, it should be lasting a long while. And it's a sneaker that's kind of function over form really, but I kind of still like the way it looks. I think it's still pretty cool, but I don't care, whether people sort of say that's a weird looking sneaker. It doesn't bother me at all. So with the cons, I think, for a lot of people out there, the comfort might not be great, especially if you're used to sort of high foam stack sneakers or anything with some sort of midsole in there. And if you prefer that and you prefer more of a softer feel, then don't go for something like this. And the sizing, like I mentioned earlier, you kind of need to go like pretty much a full size. I think in the US you could potentially go true to size and you'll be fine, but just the way the sizing conversion works here is not great. So with the ratings, I give the look and style a 4. I think they look pretty cool to me anyway, especially this colourway as well. And the comfort, I'm going to go with a 4 as well. I like the way they feel on foot, but I know it's not for everyone. And the quality, I'm going to go with a 5. I think New Balance has done a good job. The Vibram outsole, together with the sort of suede textile materials, just elevates it slightly more as a lifestyle wear, especially for the spring, summertime. And same for the pricing. I think £95 is good value in my opinion, and not too bad. This one I picked up for £77, so I was happy to sort of pay that much. And that's why overall, when you give the sneaker a 4, I think overall it's a good quality piece of footwear, especially if you're looking for sort of minimum type trainer with a barefoot feel. A lot of other barefoot feel sneakers are quite expensive, and I think this is a good one to get. If you can find this particular one on sale and you like the colorway, then definitely go for it.